Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wind Down Wednesday. Y'all, today I want to begin with permission, okay? Not a pep talk. It's okay if you arrived here with tension in your chest or a sense that you're behind on something that you can't even name. Listen, most of us were taught to enter rooms braced, right? Ready to earn our spot, ready to justify our symptoms, ready to minimize what we're carrying. Well, you don't have to do that here. In this space, we do not ask the body to perform. We ask the body to arrive, okay? Even if that arrival is imperfect, tired, or halfway in. Y'all, we're not going to pretend that this season is easy. Midlife asks things of us that no one explained on the way here. Things about our identity, appetite, the metabolic math, responsibility, shifting hormones, and the parts of ourselves that are still trying to outrun demands that never belong to us. So tonight, y'all, we're not fixing that. We're naming it and we're restoring context so the body has something to stand on. Welcome to Wind Down Wednesday. I'm so happy you're here. I'm Miriam Fajay. Grab your water, grab your tea and a blanket, y'all. Get comfortable. Let's dive in. So anyway, for years, y'all, we interacted with our bodies like they were machines that required discipline, precision, and surveillance. We were taught to manage symptoms as if they were disobedient and to respond to change with more effort. In that model, the body becomes something you negotiate with, a checklist, a project, a performance. But a midlife body is not a performance. It's a record of everything she's carried. She carries cortisol surges from the years you couldn't rest. She carries estrogen fluctuations from a life pacing itself through responsibility. She carries insulin responses shaped by urgency, skip meals, bracing mornings, and quiet survival decisions. The harder you work to manage her, the more she reorganizes to sustain you. Your symptoms are not a lack of discipline, they are the body's minutes from a meeting that you didn't even realize that your body was having, okay? Seriously, the body remembers and holds everything. Most health advice is built on the architecture of your 20s, okay? Willpower, calorie math, productivity culture, and a nervous system that hadn't yet accumulated what life has asked of you, right? Now, this is why the old strategies feel like shouting into a wind tunnel. Your body is not uncooperative. She's measuring the demands of your life before agreeing to change. And here is the moment that changes the room. Your body is not resisting change. She is reorganizing the hierarchy of what matters, okay? Energy goes to what is urgent. Resources go to what is leaking. Stability takes precedence over aesthetics. Survival outranks self-improvement every time. Every single time, okay? Your body's doing what it's designed to do. So tonight, I want to show you the order your body requires before she will participate with you again. Not a motivational order, y'all. This is a physiological one. Nourishment, rhythm, nervous system, then metabolism, weight, energy, digestion, sleep. Now with nourishment, we talk about food before caffeine. Y'all, this is not a diet rule. It's a neurological intervention. 2 bites of protein tell cortisol it doesn't have to fund the morning alone. We underestimate how many decisions we make from a body that is still negotiating the very first hour of the day. And with rhythm, women tend to blame themselves for inconsistency when in reality, their physiology has no predictable scaffolding. So we can't expect consistency from a nervous system that wakes up every day wondering whether it has to be on defense. And with nervous system, y'all, you cannot metabolize in threat. The body will not release weight, energy, or inflammation if it believes it still needs those systems for protection. Capacity isn't something you earn, it's something we rebuild. Now, when people ask why the weight, the bloating, the cravings, the night wakings won't respond, The answer is almost always this: you are making requests of a body that is still allocating resources to survival. Okay? Now, y'all, I want to tell you this. When women tell me I tried everything, y'all, I don't hear failure. I hear a system that kept going long after the instructions stopped making sense. Pushing harder isn't a character flaw. It's a survival skill that you were praised for back in the day, right? But right up until it stopped serving you. And that is where most midlife bodies begin to change direction. Y'all, there comes a moment when the body logs the data differently. Your body stops interpreting effort as commitment and starts interpreting effort as risk. If nourishment is inconsistent, if rhythm is unpredictable, if the nervous system is operating from anticipation instead of participation, then effort without context becomes depletion, and depletion is not neutral. It becomes evidence the body stores, so we are not resourced for change, right? Now, from that moment forward, the body doesn't stop responding out of defiance. Your body stops responding out of protection, because a body that believes change is unsafe will not collaborate with you. She will ration energy. She will hoard fuel. She will prioritize survival, okay? And she will call that loyalty. She'll call that loyalty. So when a woman says, I hit a wall, I don't rush to clear that wall. I ask, what's holding back, right? Because that wall is architecture. It's a boundary. It's a boundary, right? And it's intelligent. It's the body saying, not until we stop bleeding energy, okay? Right? That's why that wall is there. So we aren't beginning with a routine tonight, y'all. We're beginning with an anchor. And there's a difference. A routine asks for structure. An anchor asks for contact. A routine asks for motivation. An anchor asks for agreement. A routine demands consistency, whereas an anchor creates the conditions for consistency. So I'm inviting you into a practice that doesn't measure your worth. It measures the order of operations your body actually needs to feel safe enough, really, to participate with you again. The 2 bites, y'all. The 2 bites. 2 bites of protein in the morning before you have caffeine. It says, I'm funded. I don't have to earn my place in the day. This isn't a meal. It's a signal. It tells your cortisol, stand down. You're not carrying the morning alone. So you're actually adding deposits, y'all, without or before making any withdrawals. And then drinking water, y'all, tells your body, I'm not negotiating from deficit today. This interrupts the reflex to sprint into the day from the same doorway where yesterday exhausted you. It gives the body a moment to remember that being awake is not the same as being available. And of course, getting sunlight before you making decisions tells your nervous system that it doesn't have to enter the room first. Before emails, before problem solving, before caretaking. Y'all, this is an alignment cue, a way of saying, I get to be a person first. I get to be a person before I become a provider. Now, this isn't about breakfast when we talk about, the bites and everything and the water. It's about sequence. It's about recalibrating the chemistry of the morning so the rest of the day doesn't feel like recovery from the very first hour of waking. Most midlife women don't realize they're entering the day already with overdrawn, negotiating with a body that is still triaging last week, last year, or maybe the last decade. What changes isn't the food, it's the order. What changes isn't the habit, it's the hierarchy. Listen, a body that is underfed interprets the day as a threat. A body that is over-caffeinated and undernourished interprets urgency as identity. A body that starts with cortisol instead of fuel begins the day in survival mode, and survival mode cannot metabolize, release, rebuild, or restore. It can only protect. This is why we're anchoring instead of performing. This is why we're signaling instead of striving. You are not trying to be good. You are establishing conditions. 2 bites of protein, right? Some water, light. These are all things that are not to fix you, but to meet you before the world asks more from you than you have to give, right? Y'all, this phase of life requires responsibility, but not the kind that feels like penance, okay? Responsibility without clarity, y'all, becomes blame. Responsibility with context becomes agency, and the difference is not the amount of effort, it's the place from which effort begins. So you are not getting off the hook, you are reinforcing the hook so it doesn't snap every time life gets heavy. So we are building a foundation that can hold the truth of your responsibilities, y'all. Caregiving, aging parents, marriages in transition, changing hormones, invisible labor, and the parts of you no one tends to but you. The body is not asking you to care less. Your body's asking you to stop extracting from yourself. She's not asking you to be perfect either. She's asking for order. And order is not a moral issue, it's a metabolic one. When women realize that their body is not judging them, just measuring what's missing, okay, then they stop personalizing the stall and they start participating in the rebuild. This is not self-forgiveness, y'all, dressed up as self-care. This is literacy, okay? This is choosing partnership over performance. This is responsibility that doesn't come with self-erasure, okay? So important. Now, for those of you who sat through this whole conversation, thank you. Thank you for staying present in a body that's been asked to do too much for too long without explanation. You don't need to wake up tomorrow with a revolution, y'all. You just need to wake up inside a body that isn't being blamed for protecting you. And for the women who watch the replay later on, if you recognized yourself here, you are not outside the room. You're just standing in a doorway. Our Nourish and Flow circle, y'all, is the room. Not because, we have the answers, which we do, but because we organize the questions in the order the body actually recognizes, okay? Our community is not where you go to earn change. It's where you go to stop negotiating with your biology alone. It's where we build the order that makes change possible. Listen, you're welcome to join us. If you're not already a part of our community, join us when the timing feels honest for you, okay? And this is not to start over. It's actually to start from context.